10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello everyone! Hello Philippines and hello world! Musta ang lahat? This is your admin Sam, ang iyong pangmasang admin ng Philippine Pageants page, and welcome sa ating exclusive and live interview sa Binibining Pilipinas 2023 candidates. And let's start sa pinagmamalaki ang pambato, the pride of Rizal province. Makakausap natin mamaya si Queen Sofia Lopez Galve. Yan, and of course I would like to say thank you sa Binibining Pilipinas sa approval na gagawin namin ng interview with some of the Binibining Pilipinas 2023 candidates. So, are you guys excited? And of course, update lang tayo guys, the Binibining Pilipinas 2023 finals, that would be on May 28, Sunday. So, aabangan natin yan guys. And shout out muna tayo sa mga unang mga nandito. Nandiyan si Jan de la Vega Rimondo. Yan, Queen Lopez Galve, Rizal province yan. Yes. Uy, nandiyan ang aming kaharian, ang unang Mrs. OFW winner dito sa Saudi Arabia. Very supportive. Kahariang Inang Reyna. Thank you po. Yan. Yan. At shout out sa lahat ng mga nandito nanonood. Guys, live po tayo dito sa Philippine Pageants page. Live din tayo sa aking YouTube channel guys, ang Admin Sam. At of course, please do follow my real account, ang Sam Asim. So isa po akong OFW dito sa Saudi Arabia. So guys, di ko na patatagalin guys. Please help me welcome guys. Yes, of course, ang napakaganda. Ang napakagandang Marina at of course, actually one of the front runners ngayon for the Binibining Pilipinas 2023 pageant, Miss Sofia Lopez Galve. Yan.
Hello! Hello, good evening to everyone here in the Philippines, and of course, good afternoon sa mga kababayan natin dyan sa Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
I am your Binibining Pilipinas number 35, Sofia Lopez Galve, from the province of Rizal.
Wow.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're so welcome, Queen Sofia. Kumusta ng isang Queen Sofia ngayon?
Actually, to be perfectly honest with all of you guys, I'm very tired. I'm kind of exhausted. We had our rehearsals yesterday and the other day. And then tomorrow midnight, we are going to be leaving for an out-of-town shoot. So it's quite a hectic schedule, but I am managing well so far, you know. As they say, Admin Sam, mapapagod, pero magpapahinga lang, and then we'll go back on track. So everything's fine, everything's well with me.
Wow. Thank you for sharing. At kumusta na paghahanda mo para sa, lalo na sa finals?
So far, I am focusing on, for example, the things that I will be needing, like specifically my long gown. And then I'm also preparing myself physically, mentally for the press presentation, which is going to be happening in a few days. And it's a lot of different preparations kasi. So, of course, going to the gym, sticking to my diet plan, and then it's also a lot of mental preparation because, of course, we have the Q&A, and that is something that everyone is looking forward to. So, of course, I want to perform well in the Q&A. And kumbaga, I'm claiming it. I'm gonna make it to the Q&A.
Yes.
Syempre.
Kaya.
And then, yeah, of course. And then in between all of these preparations, of course, socializing with everyone, with my co-candidates at Binibining Pilipinas, and of course, socializing with all of my fans, all of my supporters, who are the reason that I am here at Binibining Pilipinas.
Exactly. At nung nakaraan, nagkaroon tayo ng Holy Week. Anong ganap ng ating Queen Sofia nung nakaraang Holy Week?
Grabe, sobrang hectic ng Holy Week. Actually, if for all of you who don't know, I am a CEO of a campsite that's called Taguan Camperico Park. So obviously, Holy Week is a peak season for all of us in the hospitality industry. So I was there. I was at Tagpuan in Tanay from from Wednesday until Easter Sunday, I was there. So I didn't really have cell reception back then. So sa mga hindi ko na-replyan, sorry. I was very busy that time because we were fully booked at Tagpuan. So I was assisting our guests personally. And then on Sunday and Easter Sunday, we were actually overbooked because of an oversight. So
Taguan,
yeah, we were overbooked. So there was a lot of troubleshooting. And for a while there, you know, I was focused solely on one thing, which is on my role as an entrepreneur. And I wasn't really focused on everything else. So it kind of gave me a breathing space from everything that's been going on in this pageant. Because, you know, sometimes it gets too much. It gets overwhelming because you're in the most prestigious national pageant ever.
Exactly.
And yeah, you want to give it your best. You want to give it your best talaga. But of course, we're only human. We sometimes get exhausted. And I feel like me focusing back on my actual role as an entrepreneur gave me a breathing space. And it gave me room to what do you call this, to introspect and to meditate basically and get my head back on in the game after the Holy Week.
Yes. And ayun guys, yung tagpuan na yan guys. Actually nakita ko yan sa Facebook mo. Yan, i-share natin yung photo na to.
There, that's my family. Those are my parents.
Parang ang ganda dyan. If you love nature, di ba? Parang napaka-relaxing lugar na yan.
Yes, you should come by and visit. And minsan when you come home to the Philippines, of course, I'm gonna give you a tour there.
Wow, thank you for that. At ito, isa sa mga inaabangan sa Binibining Pilipinas, yung mga Parade of Beauties. Mayroon na bang naka-schedule para dyan? Pati yung Santa Cruzan?
I don't have a news about the Santa Cruzan, but for the Grand Parade of Beauties, what we were told is it's gonna be a week before the coronation. So if the coronation is gonna be on May 28, we're probably gonna have it on May 21. So that's a probably. I don't know if there's no final announcements yet, but
no official announcement yet.
Yes, there's no official announcement yet, but I will definitely update you all on my social media accounts.
Exactly, yan. At pagdating ito, inabangan din, national costume mo. Kumusta? Anong update natin dyan?
Our national costume show will be on May 5. So that's yes. So it's exciting. Of course, I will not be able to share with you what our national costumes are, but what I can tell, I can give you a hint that all of it are very much big, like literally big, huge costumes for this year.
Pasabog.
Very pasabog. It's a lot of those are sparkly, and a lot of those are also very colorful. So I mean, of course, these are adjectives that you're going to be using for national costumes, but I am not kidding when I say these are very huge costumes this year, and everybody took the creative liberty to play with the colors of their costumes and the concepts. The concepts are amazing. I feel like everybody are going to have a wonderful time when they do see us on the actual live show on May 5.
Wow. Aabangan namin yan. At ito sa litrato pa lang to, parang may hint na kami kung gaano kaganda.
Oh, yes, of course.
With Patrick, Sir Patrick Sorina. Yan, Sorina. Yan.
The one and only, the internationally renowned Patrick Sorina is the one who made my costume.
Iba ang konsepto niyan. Alam niyan, of course, ang reigning Miss Universe natin, ang gumawa di ba, Rabuni? Si Patrick ang gumawa nun, di ba?
Yes, exactly. That's correct.
Wow. Thank you for the share. At ito, shoutout muna tayo nandiyan si Rogelio. Yan, Barameda. And hello po sa inyong lahat. Yan. Si JP Patatag. Hello po. Sending our love and support for Sambuanga and Binibini. Yes. Yan. Thank you for sa lahat ng mga nito. Shoutout po sa inyong lahat. And of course, May voting ba ngayon o wala pang official announcement about tungkol diyan?
Yeah, there's no official announcement yet, but again, your favorite Binibinis will of course be reminding you if there's going to be a voting this year.
Wow. And of course, Lilian Lopez, gorgeous. Proud of you.
Hi,
Miss.
Tita.
Okay, Lilian Lopez. Yes, hello. Now, okay, nandiyan si, yes, of course, super pretty. Oh, yan. Naturally beautiful. Yan. And Christian Razon, hello po sa inyo. I would like to ask, how special is your participation bilang mapasama sa Binibining Pilipinas? Gano'ng ka-special yan para sa'yo?
I do not have enough words to describe how special my participation in this year's batch is. Because, Binibining Pilipinas is my childhood dream. Like, literally
Yes.
childhood dream. Because I think I used to watch this with my mother, with my mama.
Yes.
So, I mean, she never really, like, told me specifically, or she never told me in words that she wants me to join Binibining Pilipinas. But me seeing the Binibining Pilipinas queens back in my childhood, I feel like that really made an impact in my life. And when I grew up, I feel like I carried that impact with me. And I knew when I started doing pageants, I've been doing pageants for so long now. So I think over 10 years. So when I started back in 2013, I've always had this dream in the back of my mind that one day I'm gonna be joining Binibining Pilipinas.
Yes.
So definitely it's very special for me. And when they called my name as an official candidate,
wow.
Grabe, the feeling is undescribable. It's surreal.
Yes.
And I will always be thankful to the BPCI for inducting me to a long line of beautiful women and empowered women.
Yes. Thank you also, BPCI, for this interview. Sir Rinaldo Santos Jr., maraming salamat po, sir, sa pagpayag sa interview na ito. Yan, sa mga kamag-anak mo ba, tita, or mga, may mga sumali na ba sa Binibining Pilipinas sa inyo?
No. I think
you're the very first time.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the first, like, not just in Binibining Pilipinas, but overall, I think I am the first in the family.
Wow, thank you. Rogelio again, Parameda. Hello po. Yan. Eva Halanduni Sampan. Yes. Queen Sofia is so gorgeous. Yes, definitely. At well spoken. Yan. Yung mother mo isang guro, di ba?
Yes po. She is a public school teacher. She's teaching values education in high school. Yes.
Yung galing mo ba ngayon sa pagsasalita, malaking bagay dyan is, one is that influence or inspiration ng mami mo?
Yes. Actually, she is my very first teacher. Back when I was a kid, I did declamation contests, and she was the one who trained me. And I'm so happy, fun fact, my very first medal in my whole life came from a declamation contest. And she was coach. So I remember back then, we used to speak to each other in English so that she would be able to hone me and my skills. And she would always point out, for example, my pronunciation, my enunciation, and my grammar, my syntax. So, that kind of one-on-one mentorship with my mom really developed my self-awareness with the language, so that I don't have to know the rules, but I just have to hear myself if I'm doing it correctly. So a lot of my communication skills really came from my mom. So thank you, Mama.
Wow. So, kaya palang galing ng training sa'yo. At evident nga itong, kausap namin si Queen Sofia. At hindi lang yan, I did research also. At yung nalaman ko rin na maliban sa declamation na yan, sumasali ka rin sa mga school press conference dati, di ba?
Wow! Grabe, Admin. Paano mo nalaman yung mga...
Sumali din ako dyan nung time ko.
Really? Oh my God. Okay. Small world.
One of the happiest moments nung high school is school press conference. Sobra. Hindi ko makakalimutan yan. Tell us your experience sa school press conference na yan.
Sobrang gandang experience niya for me, honestly. because of course, aside from the technical skills that I'm getting in terms of being able to write editorial articles, being able to write news
Yes.
articles, I actually competed more in the editorial category. So
Yes.
of course, aside from honing my technical skills in writing, I was also able to hone much of my leadership during those times, because you're speaking with a lot of different people that are
Exactly.
outside of your school, so you're meeting them for the first time. And then of course there are group activities as well, where you are forced to interact with other people. And so I feel like a lot of my leadership skills came from those extracurricular activities, because I need to gather people and make my presence known and commanding. I want them to know that my thoughts are valuable and my opinions matter. So yes, aside from the technical writing skills, it's really the leadership skills,
Exactly.
and that's what I most appreciate about these extracurriculars. That's why I really encourage everybody to go out of your comfort zone and try
Exactly.
the extracurriculars, because it will help you to be a more well-rounded person.
Exactly. Actually, ang laking tulong ng high school school press conference kahit sa elementary ng pag-build ng confidence mo, ng leadership mo,
Mm.
'di ba? Sobrang saya. And without pakuan muna tayo yan. Shout out muna kay yan uli si Tintin, Admin Tin. Thank you Admin Tin, and thank you for the
Hi,
yan, naging
hello.
tulay para sa interview na to kay Queen
Nasa
Sofia.
work
Yes,
pa siya.
Aisa. Yes, nasa work pa si Admin Tin niya. Thank you for this. Yan. At hindi lang yan, isa pa. Kasi naging quizzer din ako eh. Quiz B, sumasakali ka din nung time mo, di ba?
Yes.
Anong hindi mo makakalimutan during that time?
Ang hindi ko makakalimutan, ano ba? Natatawa
Did you
ako
win?
Of course, I did.
Yes, grabe paghahanda. Okay.
I won championships. When I was in grade school in elementary, I used to compete for Hekasi Quiz Bees. So I'm more,
history.
I'm more inclined to history. Actually, I'm more inclined to science. But for some reason, siguro may mga pambato na yung mga teachers ko for science. So they felt like my skills would also be good for Hekasi, because it's a lot of memorization, and I was I had a very good memory when I was a kid.
Wow.
So yeah, they put me in there. And aside from the memory, of course, I also have the interest and the passion for our national history. And so I won championships for that. I was able to, I've not only represented Rizal this once, I've always represented Rizal ever since I was in grade school in these quiz bees. So yeah, one of my favorite memories, I think, was medyo may what do you call this? Medyo may commotion over the fact that I'm not always in my classroom, and I'm not always in my classroom because I'm getting trained for the quiz bee. And so some of my classmates were asking, oh, why does she still have good grades even when she's not in the classroom?
Yes,
So
kasi
diba,
grabe yung
parang may
competition ng
mga,
high school, di ba? Di may
diba?
iwasan yan eh.
Oo, so I feel like a lot of my emotional fortitude today came from my grade school days, because may mga ganun ng issue, di ba? Alam mo naman,
Yes.
politics din ng mga kids.
Yeah, di may iwasan sa...
Hindi siya may iwasan. But, one of my favorite, aside from that, it's just a memory, but one of my favorite experiences naman from these quiz bees is the thrill. Like when you're writing your answer on the illustration board, the thrill before the buzzer beats. That's one of my very particular favorite moments from those.
Wow, thank you for sharing. At Admin Tin, maayong gabi isab sa imo diha sa tanang Bisaya nga naa diri. Kaya ako to guys ni tanong sa kay Queen Sofia kasi ito yung mga common thing namin eh. Sumasali ako sa school press conference, sa quiz bee. Actually sa hilig ko sa quiz bee guys, hindi lang sa school, mga hanggang sa mga regional event. Pati sa pagsali ko sa TV, sa Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, sa Game Ka Na Ba? Actually, yung as an OFW, yung placement fee ko dito, napanaw lang ko sa Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with Vic Soto.
Talaga?
So, malaking bagay yung tulong sa akin yun. Malaking bagay. At saka yung school press conference na yan, grabe pag-build up sa'yo. Yung leadership mo, di ba? At saka yung pagiging independent mo. Kasi yan yung percent na lumalayo ka sa parents mo eh. Kasi sa akin eh. Kasi pupunta ka sa ibang lugar, di ba?
Yes, that's
Pero,
correct. Actually, yun din yung na-appreciate ko doon. Yung independence ko came from that. Yung being able to be ready in any situation also came from that. Kasi wala kang parents na aasahan. Of course, you'll have your teachers with you, your advisors, ganyan. Pero at the end of it all, parang you only have yourself and you always have to be able to rely on yourself. So I appreciate that from quiz bees and press conferences.
Exactly. At yung panalo na marami kayo tapos ikaw yung nanalo, yung sarap ng experience na manalo. Yan, una mong, di ba, mararanasan sa school press conference. Ang sarap manalo. Na ang daming participants. Di ba, ang sarap manalo.
Masarap talaga manalo. I feel like I also developed my competitiveness there.
Yes.
Like, kaya ngayon, I love competing talaga. And I feel like I'm not gonna stop anytime soon.
Yes.
Whether it be, like, kunyari, itong mga pageants and in the future, I also want to be able to experience competing for entrepreneurial, what do you call this? Like hackathon awards, yung mga ganon. I want to experience those as well.
Yes. Shout out Aiza Gavina Cruz, si Mark Rigi de la Cruz. Hello, nandyan sila. Nilia Solidad Ong, hello po. Yes, of course, si admin. Di napaka-supportive. Alanis Puntillan, hello po. Yan. Now, kasi hindi pa nakakaalam guys, bago itong Binibining Pilipinas, naging Miss Philippines Earth 2021 Tourism ang ating Queen Sofia.
Yes.
Yes. Queen Sofia, that time mostly is virtual, di ba?
Yes. Oo. Fully virtual.
Sa tingin mo ba, yes, parang sa tingin mo ba medyo nabitin ka nung that time? Kasi you're sanay ka sa actual tapos virtual siya.
May feeling na gano'n, na parang bitin. Like,
yes.
Because you want to manifest your competitiveness physically. Like, it's an energy, diba? It's an energy that you manifest whenever you walk on the stage or whenever you're in a room competing for a quiz bee. It's an energy. So, when you're confined to virtual competition, you really cannot manifest all of that energy, even though we have pre-recorded segments. For example, we had the casual wear, the swimwear, long gown, the festival costume. These are all virtually made, or these are all pre-recorded. So even though I was able to manifest my competitive energy during those times that we were shooting, medyo bitin talaga, because you also want to experience the camaraderie between such as yourself. That's one of a kind. That's one of a kind. That's one of the many things that we beauty queens are thankful for. It's always the sisterhood and the friendships that we make. So, yeah, medyo nakakabitan talaga because, again, we didn't really form camaraderie between each other. Although we did have online spaces, for example, in group chat. But, it's never enough to interact with everyone virtually. It's always more fun to be able to see everyone in person.
Exactly. At hindi nakakalam guys, akala ng iba, yung mga virtual na yan, video lang yan, pero honestly, expensive yan, magastos yan, at demanding, di ba?
Yes, you're right.
Yes. At shoutout po natin kay George. Yes. George, nandiyan. Yes, take your time. Sofia, di ba? Medyo demanding siya at saka magastos, di ba?
Oo. Sobrang, actually, people, I myself thought that it was going to be less expensive than an actual on-stage or live competition. But it's actually even more expensive because, of course, you always want your production level to be high all the time. You want it to be everything. You want everything to be bongga, basically.
Yes.
You want everything to be grand and visually spectacular. And for you to be able to get to that kind of quality, of course, you have to pay for a quality team. So I think Mirror Studios. So actually, my production team back then is my company now. So I'm serving as their CEO, and that kind of quality does not come cheap. And I'm always
Exactly.
for supporting, 'di ba? I'm always for supporting artists for what they are worth, 'di ba? You know, that's
Mm-mm.
one of the many. I'm veering off course here, but I also want to add that one of the problems here in the Philippines is that we're not appreciating artists as much as they deserve. So I just want to
Yes. Mm-mm.
point out that we have to respect the rates of our artists and give them what they deserve for the quality that they are putting out. And so, you know, I was able to get to the kind of quality that I put out in Miss Philippines Earth because I supported the right kind of people. And, you know, it may be expensive, but it's all worth it.
Wow. Thank you sa lahat ng nanonood dito. Wow, sa more than 50 nanonood, maraming salamat. Zinaida Perez Galve. Yan.
Hi, Lola.
Habiba. Yes, Habiba, yes. Genuine. Hello sa inyo, Genuine. Okay, Nadsla Palada sa Kuwait. Kababayan ko to. Josh Bayabaw, hello po sa inyo. Si Jane, nandyan. Si Yuzan, hello po. Guys, thank you. Maraming salamat sa inyong suporta para sa ating Queen Sofia Galve. Yan. At, yes. Baka guys yung mga...
Yes. Si Josh. Si Josh Bayabaw.
Yes, okay.
Shout out. May very supportive
Shout
naman.
out. Pwede mo basahin anytime sa kanila dyan yung mga nakikita mo ay sa Gobina Croselo. Guys, baka yung sa Facebook account ko, baka may nagko-comment doon. Hindi ko nababasa kasi minsan dito lang ito sa page at saka sa YouTube. Okay, thank you guys sa pagsuporta sa amin. Now, I'd like to, going back sa ito, nabago ba ang advocacy mo from Miss Philippines Earth? Kumusta ang advocacy mo ngayon?
Actually, I still have the same advocacy. I am a champion for sustainable ecotourism, and it didn't really change because when I started with Miss Philippines Earth, I already had my advocacy prior. So I didn't it's a common problem that some are just creating their advocacies for a specific pageant that they're joining.
Yes, exactly.
But thankfully, on my case, I already had this advocacy with me even before the competition. And I've always wanted to carry this with me, no matter what the competition is or no matter what the pageant is. Because, you know, an advocacy is not just a hobby that you pick up and you throw away when you're already done with it, right?
Yes.
An advocacy is a mission in life. And one of my missions in life is to be able to promote sustainable ecotourism to all other aspiring entrepreneurs like myself. So there are a lot of, rising entrepreneurs, some as young as I am, some, just trying this out for the first time in their lives. And I want to show everybody that sustainable ecotourism and, caring for the environment is not going to cost you your profit. In fact, you can actually integrate ecotourism to your existing business model so that you're already caring for the environment and you're also turning a profit from it. There's always a lot of possibilities, and we're doing it actually in real life at Tagpuan Camp in Eco Park. That's why the advocacy never changes, because it's already a business of mine. It's embedded in the business, and that's what I love about doing this advocacy, because with the right partners, Josh Bayaba is actually my partner aside from in life. He's also my partner in the business, and thankfully, I'm with the right partners because they really support.
Supportive para sa'yo.
Yes. They really support the vision that I want for our company.
Yes. Shout out, Jessa.
Yes.
Yura.
Hi,
Tumatay.
Ate Jessa. Ate Jessa is my very first handler. When I started 13, she was my handler until I won Miss Tourism Philippines, so my very first minor national pageant. She was there for me.
Yes. Wow.
then
Shirley Galve. Yeah, Binibini 35. Guys, hindi man namin kayo ma-shout out kasi nga ito while doing the interview, pero yung pina-flash namin dito sa screen. So, yan. Thank you guys sa pag-interact. Maraming salamat sa inyo. Yan, sa tuloy na pagsuporta kay Queen Sofia. Okay. Queen Sofia, ito kasi marami ang nasa dahil nga may mga nalagas na crown sa Binibining Pilipinas. We have to be honest with that. Ito, 2 na lang ang natira, pero wala pang official announcement kung mayroon o wala ang madagdag, di ba?
Yes. Wala pang official announcement so far.
Of course. Sa ngayon, international muna at globe, di ba?
Yun yung alam namin confirmed.
Sa ngayon, sa confirm yan. Alin din ang pinaka-target mo?
Of course, you want to be targeting for the highest placement. And
Yes.
I want to be targeting for Miss International, of course. It's the very same pageant where Madam Stella Marquez Araneta won years
Yes,
before.
exactly.
And it would be an honor to be participating in the same pageant that she participated in, one of the
Exactly.
legends, in the pageant industry. But of
Definitely.
course, I would appreciate all and any chances to be able to represent the Philippines. And yes,
Wow.
Stella Marquez Araneta, I was able to take a picture with her. Of course, I have to
Yes.
take the opportunity. Once in a lifetime lang yan with the legend. So I took that
Exactly.
opportunity already. Yes, and I want to be able to represent the Philippines. So whether I'm destined for Miss International or Miss Globe, I will go for it. It really is just my desire. It is my heart's desire to be able to represent the Philippines in any of the
Exactly.
international arenas.
Ayun. Shout out Lolita Gavina at sa inyong lahat. Rasul Lim, hello po sa inyong lahat dyan. And of course, guys, patrivia lang tayo. Yung sinabi ni Queen Sofia na yung naging Miss International si Madam Stella Araneta. Actually, guys, siya yung pinakaunang Miss International winner way back in 1960. And prior to winning the Miss International, sumali siya sa Miss Universe. Nag-finalist din siya sa Miss Universe. Of course, representing Colombia.
Ang
So,
galing.
pageant veteran din yan katulad mo, di ba?
True.
Now, pag-usapan natin pagiging pageant veteran. Anong taon ka unang sumali sa pageant? Paano ka nakasali? Ano mo hindi mo makakalimut sa unang sali mo?
Yes, I first started back in 2013 yun eh. I believe I was 16 going on 17 when I joined Binibining Burgos. So, Binibining Burgos is a barangay in my hometown of Rizal. So, I really started in Rizal. Like, this really is where I honed myself sa pageant. And so, I started my journey in Barangay Burgos.
Yes.
The one who actually inspired me to do this was my Ate Kim. So, Ate Kim Adalia is already doing pageants back in our barangay and even in the municipal level, I believe, back then. So she inspired me to do this. She was my schoolmate. She introduced me to my handler, Ate Jessa. And then history started there. I won as Binibining Burgos Tourism. So tourism, first runner-up position. So I was not actually supposed to be the representative to Binibining Montalban, but due to some circumstances, they appointed me to be the representative of Barangay Burgos to the municipal level, which is Binibining Montalban. So
yes. The following year, no?
Actually, yeah.
2014? Yes.
So I was Binibining Montalban 2014, thankfully.
Yes.
And then because of that, I was Montalban's representative to Binibining Rizal.
Yes.
Miss Rizal.
Miss Rizal, yes.
Yes, where I won Miss Rizal 2015. So,
wow, tuloy-tuloy na panalo.
Yeah, I'm not the type of, because there's a lot of variety to the ladies that are competing in national pageants. We have the first timers where in their lifetime they've never really joined other pageants, but their first pageants like Binibining Pilipinas or other big national pageants. But for me, I really started at I really did the ladder from the bottom in the barangay level to the municipal to the provincial, and I'm so happy that I did it that way because I've developed a lot of skills, passerelle skills, Q&A skills, and of course, these experiences gave me the foundation for who I am today, for the queen that I am. And these gave me the foundation to be able to confidently say that I am a Binibini.
Wow. Thank you. Shout out MJ.
Hi, MJ.
Thank you, Nak, for mentioning my name, Jaysa. Yan. Balikan natin yung unang pagsali mo. Paano ka
Mm.
nagpaalam sa parents mo at ano, madali ba sa kanila ang pumayag na sumali ka sa
Mm.
pageant?
Paano ko ba sinabi yun? Siguro kumakain lang kami ng dinner noon, and then I probably
Okay.
mentioned, "Ma, pa, sali ako sa..." Ganun naman ako magpaalam ever since. Kahit sa
Okay.
mga quiz bees and press conference, hindi ko sila tinatanong kung papayag sila. Sinasabi ko na sinasabi ko na lang
Diretso. Kasi alam mong papayag sila.
hindi ko alam kung papayag sila. Pero ako, pag I really want to pursue the things that I want to pursue. So even though you say that you're concerned or you're worried if I'm going to do this, I myself, if I'm confident enough to do this, I will do it. So hindi na ako nagpapaalam na lang ako. I just
Oo.
tell them directly. So I remember,
Yes.
parang siguro I feel like it's dinner time and we were eating, and I just casually mentioned that I'm going to join. And I also mentioned who told me to join and how I'm joining. Like, for example, eto may nakilala handler. And I remember one of the things that they asked me directly about is the swimsuit competition. Oh, magsiswimsuit ka dyan.
Yes.
Swimsuit ka ba
Oo.
dyan? Yes. Na may cover up naman. Kasi, syempre, in barangay pageants, medyo bata pa yung mga sumasali. So, they really require a cover up. So,
Exactly.
yun yung I think that's one of the particular questions that they asked me. But then again, I would really go into this knowing that I think this has been my passion ever since. I
Yes.
was very much I was very much exposed to beauty pageants because it's something that we see on TV. And my mom, she would always tell me that I'm beautiful, that I'm smart, that I'm
Exactly.
confident. And when she made those affirmations to me, I knew right then and there that I really wanted to be something that everybody can look up to. I didn't necessarily know that I was going to be a beauty queen, but I knew back then that I was going to be someone that inspires people. So I'm glad that this is the path that I got onto, starting with Barangay Burgos, with Ginoo at Binibining Burgos.
Yes. Thank you sa pag-share. Shoutout muna ako sa kaibigan ko na nasa Europe ngayon, si Ibrahim Lumundaya.
Hi!
Hello po sa inyong lahat. Yes, thank you. Sa lahat ng nandito, sila, yan, Mary,
Hi,
Abal,
Ma!
yes, nandyan. Yes. Thank you guys sa lahat ng mga supporters na nandito. Yes. And of course, good luck sa shoots nyo bukas, no? Of course, nanawagan ka nung nakaraan sa hair and makeup style artist, di ba?
Yeah,
Kumusta?
oo.
May nakuha ka na ba?
Actually, wala pa. I'm talking to one of my co-candidates on how our arrangement is going to be like. But, I'm very much confident to do my own makeup actually for the shoot.
Yes.
I'm just concerned about my hairstyling because I'm not yet very good at like curling my hair and making it stay in place. So more than makeup artist, I actually need a hairstylist more. But I'm discussing with some of my co-candidates on how we're going to be able to share one or two makeup artists. So yes, we're
Yes.
planning on that.
Yes. I would like to ask, are you part of a camp?
Yes. I am part
Anong-
of
Yes,
I'm
tuloy
part
lang.
of Tatahang Flores, KF,
Wow.
Pamilya.
Kailan ka unang sumali sa Kagandahang Flores ni Tito Rotel Flores? At yan, sino yung unang lumapit sa'yo para you need to be in that camp?
So when I joined Miss Rizal 2015, the head of Miss Rizal or the director of Miss Rizal is actually Tito Jess Soriano. He is my current manager now. And Tito Jess, hi Angelica. Ayun. So
Yes.
Tito Jess, my current handler right now, he was the director of Miss Rizal 2015 and he is one of the original trainers in KF.
Yes.
So so he was my gateway to joining KF. He told me that since I won Miss Rizal 2015 and I have the potential, he wanted to train me, and he wanted to introduce me to a group of people who would be able to help me realize my dreams of competing in Binibining Pilipinas. And I joined KF. So that was 2015. I was 18 years old back then. So young. There were people who were encouraging me to join Binibining Pilipinas at the time. I was 18, and I told them, yeah. So I trained at KF for like just a few weeks. When I realized that I do not yet have the capacity to balance this with my studies, because I was studying back then. I was a sophomore. Right. Yes, I was a sophomore at the University of the Philippines, and academics at UP could be very tough. And
Exactly.
I
One course.
Yes, I don't want to be committing myself to something that requires a whole lot of my attention. So I didn't want to divide myself between competing in the national pageant and finishing my studies at UP. So I didn't do it. I just focused on my studies, and I told them that I'm gonna be back maybe a few years later when I'm more mature, when I can handle myself better. And I'm so glad with the timeline that I've had so far, because I've given myself a lot of time to grow. I didn't force myself to be this or that very early on. And at a young age, I already had a lot of pageant experience, and that was good enough for me. Then, so I can focus on my studies, and then after focusing on my studies, I focused on my business. After that, I went back to pageants, and I feel like I'm so very blessed with all of the decisions that I made so far.
Yan. I would like to ask, ano yung course na kinuha mo sa UP?
I started with political science. When I passed the UPCAT, I passed political science, which is in fact a triple quota course. So I was very much surprised that I was able to do that. But a year after trying out political science, and I can quote my professor on this. He told us that if we're here at political science because we wanted to be lawyers,
yes,
you can go out. You can leave political science. So I did, because the reason that I went into political science is because I wanted to be a lawyer. Then they said that political science is not a requirement. So when they said that, I chose a different path that I know is my passion. So I shifted to speech communication on my third year in college. Yes, speech communication. Actually, it was a choice I was choosing between speech communication, theater, broadcast communication, or journalism. So it's those are courses that are quite the same, kind of the same. But I didn't really have the confidence for theater because I didn't have official theater experience way before. So I went for speech communication because we have theater electives there. But at the same time, it's very versatile in terms of I can still go to broadcasting as a career after speech communication. And then speech communication also provides training for argumentation, which is very helpful for me once I go into law school. So I feel like speech communication was able to give me the versatility that I wanted in terms of choosing a career after college.
Ayun, thank you. At ito, dahil sa mga pageant experience mo, diyan sa lugar ninyo, sa Rizal, sa Montalban, napaka-supportive ng mga taga Montalban, ng taga Rizal, ng mga taga Rizal province sa'yo, di ba? With that, ito, nandiyan sila, di ba la? Kapitan, di ba? Nandiyan sila, nandito sila. At kasama din si Governor, di ba? Grabe yung suporta para sa iyo. Yan, and of course, we still have this. Kumusta? If you have one word to describe yung support na ito para sa iyo sa journey mo sa Binibining Pilipinas, what word is that?
Loving. Their support for me goes beyond commenting or sharing my posts or liking my posts. I can feel the love. That's very unique to my supporters. I feel like I'm so happy with everything that has happened to my life so far, that I started in Montalban. And I was actually I actually represented Tanay in Miss Philippines Earth, not Montalban, because back in 2021, that was a time when we were preparing our business in Tanay, which is Tagpuan Campanico Park.
Yes.
And I wanted to promote it. So, and I also wanted to promote the natural beauty of Tanay. That's why I chose Tanay for Miss Philippines Earth. But, everything considered, I'm just so lucky that my supporters are very loving towards me. Loving because they don't only want me to get social media exposure. They also they
Yes.
are the type of supporters who ask me how I am, how I'm doing, how I'm feeling. And not everybody gets that kind of support. And I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. I want to thank everyone, all of my supporters, for being so loving towards me, so caring, and for just the endless support that you're giving.
Wow. Shout out pala si Admin Jello. Nandito siya. Isa sa mga admins namin dito sa Philippine Pageants. Hello po Admin Jello. Yes. And of course, may nagtanong dito. Kasi mga tanong mamaya, may mga kuan. Pero, wow. Sino po ang mentor niya sa broadcasting or journalism? Meron ba?
Talagang sineset up ako for this, ha? So, actually,
kilala mo?
Josh is my boyfriend. So,
okay. Yeah, hello. Hello po. Supporting.
Sineset up niya talaga ako for this question. I feel like
Siya ba?
No. I think he wanted me to tell everyone that I was actually mentored by Cara David. I took up what was that?
GMA, di ba?
What's that?
GMA Kapuso, di ba?
Yes. The one and only from GMA, Miss Cara David, was my professor in podcast journalism. So we did documentaries back then.
Galing.
And it's one of the experiences that I will always be grateful for, to be able to study under the tutelage of Cara David. And I remember she told me that I have the potential for broadcasting. So that that has inspired me, and it's I carry it with me to this day. And one of the many things that I'm grateful for in my education at UP.
Wow. Shout out tayo. Nandito si Queen Shane Quintana Torres. Hello, Queen. Yes.
Oh my
Thank
gosh.
you for the support. Yes. Thank you sa lahat ng nanonood ngayon. Yes. Thank you. I would like to ask, pagdating sa documentary na nabanggit mo, anong klaseng documentary ang pinakagusto mo?
Okay.
Parang madami, no? Kasi na-history ka pa, mahilig ka pa sa history.
Pero ako, gusto ko, I like the documentaries na, ano ba to, yung, how do I describe this? Yung talagang adventurous. Like the ones that Miss Cara David does, like going up a mountain. My favorite, to this day, my favorite documentary is Ambulansyang de Paa. And I remember how hard it was to film that particular documentary because they were going up and down the mountain because they were following the actual Ambulansyang de Paa, which is, I feel like a pair of people, a pair of men who were carrying a hammock or a duyan with the
hammock.
Yes. So it was very hard filming. And if ever I am going to do documentaries in the future, I feel like those are the types that I would also want to be doing. The ones that are actually following people in their daily habits, the ones that are very challenging, because the ones that are challenging are obviously the ones in the remote places, and the ones in the remote places are the stories that you really have to tell into the world, because we already have social media.
Di sila narinig di ba?
Yes.
Oo. Di sila napapansin.
Exactly. So we already know of people in the metro, of people in the provinces, because we all have access to social media. But the ones in the very remote areas in the Philippines, the far-flung areas, they are the ones whose stories deserve to be told. And, you know, maybe in telling these stories, we would be able to help them, you know, in our own little ways as well.
Yes. At iba yung kwento pag ikaw mismo nakaranas, di ba? Kasama
Oo.
sila.
Yes, exactly.
Yan.
Ito talaga yung immersion.
Yes. With that, Alvin Nogat. Yes.
Yes, my designer. Hi, Tito.
Yes. Uy, you're so welcome. Ang ganda ng mga design, mga gowns nito. Oo, di ba?
International level.
With yes, of course, Sir Alvin nandyan. Si Patrick nandyan. Grabe ang team.
Kuya
And of
Patrick.
course, kagandahan Flores.
Oo.
It's
And my
all for the win. Yes. And of course, napaka-supportive. Yan.
Natatawa.
Yan. Yan. Hello po sa inyong lahat. Yan. Maraming salamat. Yan. Thank you, guys. Ito nakaraan. Tuloy lang. Sorry.
Sisingit lang ako. I also wanted to shout out.
Yes.
To do a shout out for my team at Mirror Studio, si Geo, si Therese, si Margaret. I think they're all here supporting. Nakakatawa. Lahat ng companies.
Shout out mo silang lahat. Oo. Anytime pwede mo silang shout out. Denny. Hello po. Hello po sa inyo. Yes, kasi guys dito guys, we are interacting as one. Kami man dito kasama ninyo, nakikita niyo, napanood niyo guys, pero party kayo din. Equally, pareho tayo nandito. So, nagsusuportahan. Yeah, Teresa. Uy, bayabo yan. Shout out sa akin. Yan. Of course, nandito po rin si Aiza. Yan, thank you guys. Yes, ito may mga photo akong ipapakita. Kumusta ang araw na to? Tingnan niyo naman guys, nang lalamon, no. Yan.
Ay, grabe.
Oo, kumusta ang araw na yan?
Pinicturean pala ako niya na candid, very candid. Hindi man ako
yes.
But it's a nice picture. So that was the launch of our Glam Shot exhibit at Gateway. And I remember that day being so sentimental for me because when you see a poster of yourself, especially Glam Shot, it's one of a kind, you know, because it's one of the very unique experiences of a Binibining Pilipinas. You know, aside from the Grand Parade of Beauties, the press presentation, having your Glam Shot in the mall, and soon enough our swimsuit photos in front of Shopwise Araneta, those are the particular milestones that are very unique to us at Binibining Pilipinas. And being able to unveil my very own Glam Shot, it felt like it was the realization of a dream for me.
At ito shout out ako sa dito kasi yan, kakabukas ko lang ng Facebook account ko. Yung mga nag-shout out dito, Habiba nag-send pala ng stars. Hello po. Yan, Natsla, Ibrahim Lumundaya, thank you. Sa mismong real Facebook account ko, Sam Asim. Guys, Sam Asim, isa pong OFW dito sa Saudi Arabia. And thank you dito sa time na kasama natin ng Will Spoke dito. Guys, while doing this interview, guys, alam niyo, totoo lang, guys, si Queen Sofia has a lot to achieve, offer, and kumbaga, even outside of the pageantry world, ang daming mo pang mapapatunayan. Actually, ang pageantry world kasi within a year lang yan, di ba? Pero after that, yun yung totoong kulay, yun yung totoong buhay mo, At I'm sure, ang dami mo pang ma-achieve. Very inspiring. Lahat, and good luck for that, you're so welcome. Yes, nandiyan sa Flora. Guys, may problema. Minsan malabo na yung mata ko. Pero hanggang ngayon, ayaw pa magka-eyeglass. Parang ayaw pang magmukhang masyadong may edad na. Okay. So, thank you. And ito, sa Taguan pala. Imbitahan mo sila para sa Taguan Camp and Eco Park.
Yes, of course. I want to invite everybody who is up for a nature experience to come to Taguan Camp and Eco Park, your home in nature. I'm sure that you're gonna love it there. It's camping, so you will be able to experience nature at its purest form. We do not have much of infrastructures there, so you're really gonna be able to appreciate nature as it is. So for those who are looking forward to the sea of clouds in Tanay, that's something that you can also experience in our campsite. We have tents that are overlooking the Sierra Madre mountain ranges. So of course, definitely you're gonna experience it there at Tagpuan. And then for those who have been wanting to work away from home, a lot of us, I think a lot of Filipinos are still working from home. So if you also experience working away from home and in nature instead, you can also come to Tagpuan Camera and Eco Park, because even though we don't have cell reception there, we do have Wi-Fi, so you can still enjoy nature working there, of course. And then of course, we also
Sa mga
have
vloggers, pwede.
Yes, pwede. Also invite
Yes.
our bloggers, vloggers who want to
Yes.
try traveling and experiencing nature. Tagpuan Camping Eco Park is the best for you. And we also have ATV adventures. So if you're up for a ride of a lifetime, try our ATVs. We have different trails for you: mud trails, river crossing trails. We also have a mountain trail and the Maiton Rock Formation Trail, which in which you're gonna be able to appreciate Maiton Rock Formation in Barangay Cayabo in Tanay. So definitely give us a visit at Tagpuan Camping Eco Park. And yes, there's a picture of our campsite. It's so peaceful.
Ganda,
I promise.
Parang may mga prutas dyan.
Yes, we do. So we do a lot of tree planting activities. I mean, share ko lang, during Holy Week when I was there at Tagpuan, I saw a lemon growing out of a tree, and I was surprised for a minute there. Sabi, may lemon tayo dito. And then I remembered it was the lemon from the lemon mayor tree that we planted. And I was shocked because it was so early. It's not too early for it to be growing, but I was just shocked that it's already bearing fruit. The trees that we planted just last year were already bearing fruits. So to see an actual fruit of our labor, that's amazing. That's an amazing experience for me. So a lot of the trees that we planted from last year and last year are already growing now. So we do have a lot of shade at Tagpuan. Not the bad kind of shade, the good kind of shade, which is from our trees. And so I'm very thankful that I get to do this with my partner. And then, of course, Admin Sam, can I also promote my other company?
Yes. Tuloy.
Yes,
Lahat.
Go. So,
bisita ka namin.
course,
Lahat.
for everyone who are wanting to experience a unique self-shoot experience, try Mirror Studios. We have 2 branches. We have our branch in Pasig. So if you're up for the classic, clean-looking, plain color background shots, you can experience it there in our Pasig branch. And then we also have our vintage and retro concept studios at SM North EDSA. So aside from those, of course, if you are looking for events coverage, photo and video shoots, you can also contact us at Mirror Studios. You can just message me directly, or you can follow our pages, Mirror Studios, both on Instagram and Facebook. If you're looking for example, for AVP, for companies that are looking to create their own audiovisual presentation, you can just check us out, our output at Prisma and Mirror Studios for your self-shoot needs.
Wow. Thank you. At ito, yan, nandyan sila. Maraming salamat. Sabi ni Josh, gusto daw niya yung Sea of Clouds na nabanggit mo.
Yes, oo.
Yan.
Sobrang press talaga sa Tanay. Ang lamig paggabi. Lamigin ako. So talagang mga multiple layers of
pares pala tayo. Madali akong pares tayo. Kahit nandito ako sa Saudi, guys. Kasi mainit dito. Pero naka-aircon kasi lahat dito eh. Madali rin akong pass. Oo, kailangan nakabalot kahit matulog. Okay. Anong may nagsabi doon, pwede daw, ang ganda daw parang mag-drone doon sa Tagpuan. 'Di ba?
Yes, oo. Pwede mag-drone yung mga gustong mag-try ng drone sa tagpuan. Actually, our chief video officer at Mirror Studios is the one who also creates our videos at Tagpuan Company ko po. Diba? Syempre may interconnection ng aking mga company. So yeah, I'm so proud of
Exactly.
both companies.
At sa nagtatanong si Teresa Bayaboy, ang finals po that would be on May 28.
Yes,
Yan.
28. Birthday ng sister ko. So sabi ko,
so
advance. Kanya i-corona.
Oh, regalo. At nandun siya. Baka man nanonood siya para sa finals. Okay, for sure. Yes. Nabalikan natin yung pagsali mo sa KF. Anong malaking tulong sa'yo ang pagsali ng isang pageant camp? Ano nga nabago sa'yo?
Joining a beauty pageant camp is a very big help, especially since when you're joining pageants, you really have to have a whole team, a solid team. So you have to have your glam team, your styling, passerella coaches, of course. And when you're in a pageant camp, they will be able to guide you talaga on what to do in a pageant. And it's not just about them giving us a glam team or a pageant, a passerella coach and a Q&A coach. It's not just those small things. It's also the things that are not very well known to other people who are not joining pageants. Like for example, how to hold ourselves up, how to project ourselves to people. These are some things that you cannot learn from just your glam team, from just your styling. These are things that you can only learn from pageant experts, and the people who make up a beauty pageant camp are experts. So for example,
Exactly.
Rizal is an expert
Exactly.
in nearly everything, every aspect of a pageant he is an expert in. And I am able to get all of these learnings from them without them asking for anything in return. That's how much love they give us. That's they really just doing this out of the passion of being able to develop beauty queens and develop best representatives for the Philippines. And I'm just so thankful that I have my camp because, aside from doing my glam, doing my styling, these are the things that I've learned from them: how to project myself, how to socialize with people, how I can show my authenticity as a beauty queen. And I will forever be grateful to my K Familia for that.
Yes. Okay. No, pag-uusapan natin yung pasarela mo. Balikan natin yung at the time na una kang sumali sa Barangay Burgos, Montalban, Rizal to Philippine Tourism. Kumusta yung evolution ng pasarela mo? Kung natatandaan mo.
Malaki yung evolution ng pasarela ko. So of course, when I first started in pageantry, that was way back in 2013. The one who was teaching me my pasarela was Ate Jessa and a couple other people who were also trying to start in pageantry. And the style back then was very different from today. So it's not necessarily what I was taught, but it was a trend at the time. And at the time, the trend was, big flowy movements. But being a very, I'm a beauty queen with a very big hip. Mabalakang ako, as people would say. So,
Okay.
back then, sobrang talagang ang galaw ko talaga. I remember being very energetic in my pasarela that I had the tendency to parang OA, overacting in terms of my pasarela. I move so huge. I moved very big movements when I was on stage back in 2013. But over the years, especially with my pasarela training at KF, I was able to hold on to the big flowy movements, but at the same time, make it smoother, make it more graceful on stage. So I was able to, keep some of my training in pasarela from 2013 just small the small aspects of my pasarela back then, I was able to hold on to those and integrate it with the kind of walk that I have today, which is more controlled, more
Yes.
graceful than ever. And that's why that's why I'm always grateful for my years of pageant experience, because I've seen the evolution of pageantry itself, and
Exactly.
I was able to develop myself in terms of those trends. And now that I know which are trends, which are fads, and which are classics, I was able to handpick which parts of my pasarela will be staying with me, which are classics, and then which trends I'm also going to try on
Mm-mm.
my pasarela from every once in a while. So yes, I'm very thankful for my pasarela experience from
Ah,
2013. I was able to integrate everything.
oh, thank you. Shoutout muna kay, nandito daw sa si Margaret Lerio. Jerome
Hi,
Ampong, hello po. Yes.
Manny.
Ano ulam dyan? Ano to?
Hello.
Yes, naghanap ng ulam. Nagda-diet ang ating
Yes.
Yes, nagda-diet ang ating queen. At ako guys, ang yung admin sub ay nasa actually fasting dito sa Saudi Arabia.
Ah,
Kaya wala kami mga ulam ngayon ni
oh,
Queen Sofia.
you're in fasting.
Yes. Mm-mm.
Admin Sam.
Yes, okay. Guys, nandasa sa Saudi po ako guys. Yes. Now, ito, sa mga experience mo sa beauty pageant, what makes you, what is your proudest moment being into the pageantry world?
Ooh.
Or what makes you proud as a beauty queen?
That's a very tough question.
Mm-mm.
Firstly, because I already have so many years of
Exactly.
pageant
Mm-mm.
experience that it's hard for me to pick like just one moment
Ang dami, no? Yes.
or diba? I feel like one of the proudest things one of the things that I can be most proud of in my pageant experience is, the times when an aspiring queen sends me a personal message and they ask
Mm-mm.
tips and advice on what to do in their pageant and what they did to overcome my own fears, my own doubts. And whenever I am able to give just a little bit of advice to these young ladies, that
Yes.
really has to be one of my proudest moments as a beauty. Um, it it is very feeling is indescribable when you're able to inspire
Mm-mm.
other people, and you can really say that you've inspired other people when they come up to you on your personal messages and they actually ask you what to do because they believe in you,
Exactly.
they believe that you're one of the people who were able to um hone themselves into this kind of beauty queen. Somebody believes you that when somebody believes you as much, it is truly heartwarming when I do that. So that has to be one of the proudest moment.
Yes. Yes. Sa mga aspiring or mga potential beauty queens yan sa lugar niyo, sa Rizal Province, na gustong sumali sa beauty pageant, pero nahihiya pa. Kumbaga yung confidence hindi pa fully grown. Ano yung advice mo?
My advice is you will never know if you're ready until you join a pageant.
Exactly.
And
Yes.
it's not wrong to doubt yourself, to question yourself. These self doubts are very much a normal occurrence in a person's life. We are only human. We also give in to our own self doubts, and
Mm-mm.
the thing is, you just don't let these self doubts win over you. It's important to listen to these doubts only because these insecurities will help you discover yourself and be more aware of yourself. That it Because in awareness you will be able to grow. With awareness you will be able to develop and improve yourself. You just have to be very self-aware which of your doubts are valid and which are not. And when you have delineated between the two, when you have discovered which doubts are real, would you work on those doubts? For example, I used to be very insecure with my body. And I know for a fact that these are very valid doubts, because I did have, I did have a body that was not entirely according to the beauty standards in beauty pageant. And I'm very, and being aware of these doubts
before, batinan mo.
No, sorry, I think that's a different candidate.
Hindi yan. Sorry, kasi nasa Facebook.
No.
Ito, tingnan mo. Guys, tingnan nyo. Tingnan nyo. Ang katawa na yan, di ba?
So yeah, I didn't start out like that, but I also did not change myself according to what is expected by society. But I did improve myself. So there's a difference. There's a difference when you want to change yourself. When you want to change yourself 100% just to comply to society. And there's also a difference to that and to being aware and just basically just improving yourself. And when people and when queens, like myself, when young ladies are aware of their doubts, of their insecurities, they will be able to work on it. And when you work on it, you're improving yourself, you're developing yourself, you're growing to be a better person. And that's it, So my advice for aspiring beauty queens, especially here in our own province in Rizal, is that just join. If you want, just join. Don't think about anything else. Don't your self-doubts. I mean, yes, think about it, but do not let it stop you. Never let anything stop you. If you just want to join the beauty pageant, just join. And then you're going to learn a lot about yourself when you're already pageant. Because if you stop yourself, the learning also stops there, right?
Exactly. And you stop growing also.
You also stop growing, because if you don't join a pageant, you stay in your school, you stay doing what you're doing already, then you're just being stagnant, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to be with beauty pageants lang.
Yes.
It can be in sports, it can be in music and arts.
Yes. Yung passion mo, di ba?
Yes. If you stop yourself from exploring, then you're never really gonna know if you're going to thrive in this particular field in life.
Exactly.
So, like for me, I'm still in the learning process. The learning process is for a lifetime. And
exactly, continuous process.
Yeah, there's still a lot. I'm still always gonna be a beginner. I may be a pageant veteran. I may have lots of experiences as a writer, as a host, but there are many more things where I am still going to be a beginner. When I enter law school, I am gonna be a beginner. When I get into married life in the future, I'm gonna be a beginner in that particular phase of my life. And maybe in the future, if I'm going to be a professor, I'm also gonna be a beginner at being a professor, right? So I'm still young. There's a lot of things for me to explore. I'm always gonna be a beginner myself, and I will always have self-doubts. But I will not let these stop me from becoming who I am meant to be, right?
Looking forward to that.
If I'm meant to be your Miss International 2023 or 2024, I mean 24, then I will hold on to that. I will perform to the best of my ability to be the best representative.
Exactly. Queen Sofia, marami nagsasabi na ang edition na to ng Binibining Pilipinas is labanan ng mga magagandang mga morena.
Oh, yes.
With you, anong year or noon pa nakita mo na yung pagiging morena mo is advantage mo sa beauty pageant?
Actually, right at the very start of my pageant experience, back in 2013, I already knew that my being a morena is going to be
Stand out ng
big
ganyan.
advantage. Yes.
Yes.
Because, I feel like ever since the Philippines became a very big pageant fan,
Yes,
everybody here
powerhouse.
in the Philippines have always admired Latina beauty queens. And Latina beauty queens are morenas.
Yeah,
So I
exactly.
told diba? So I told myself, if they're idolizing other nationalities for being a morena, we're also kayumanggi, we're also morena.
Yes.
So felt like, so that's the kind of self-awareness that I had, right? I knew right then and there that my being a is going to be a big advantage for me in beauty pageants. So I held on to that. I never changed my perspective on my skin color. Of course, there were times when, hindi natin maiiwasan when you're just a beginner. Like, for example, in my own experience, when I first started doing my own makeup, there were times that I was going to be too white on the face, but I'm going to be more now in my body.
Yes.
But it's part of the learning experience. I never really tried to be fairer than my natural complexion. That was, those are blunders on my makeup, on my personal
Yes.
makeup. But yeah, ever since I've always embraced being a morena.
Wow. Proud, Marina, di ba? Part Filipina beauty. No, tinanong kita kanina kung yung proudest moment mo or what makes you proud as a beauty queen. Now, I would like to ask, what makes you proud? Not isa kang taga Rizal province.
What makes me proud of being Rizaleño is we're a community. We're always a collective. We're the kind of people who always look out for the interests of our neighbors, not just ourselves. And I know this for a fact because I was able to experience Bagyong Ondoy. I remember, I think I was a sophomore in high school when I experienced it. And it was one of the
2009?
yes.
Yes.
It was one of the toughest experiences of my life because I've never experienced a big natural calamity before that. And when I experienced Bagyong Ondoy, that's when I knew that Rizaleños will really embrace you, will care for you, will look out for your needs. Because when our home got submerged in the flood water, we didn't really have a home to go to. We were in a sense adopted by somebody else in our province, in our hometown, who wasn't really much affected. And that sense of neighborly love is something that I will always be proud of as a Milenio. That's why when Montalban experienced another Ondoy like calamity, actually even much
Yes.
worse than Ondoy, which is Ulysses. And I was already at the time. I was already here in Cainta. I'm currently in Cainta. Here we didn't get affected as much as may kababayan in Montalban, yung bagyong Ulysses. So when Ulysses happened, I wanted to give back, and so I did a donation drive for my kababayans in Montalban. And it's not something that I did with a lot of fanfare, with a lot of social media postings. I only posted for accountability reports that
Yes.
the money that are being donated are actually going to items, to food items, sanitary and hygienic items that are going to be donated to the people in Montalban. So that's always something I'm gonna be proud of as a Rizaleño. It's our sense of
Wow.
community,
Thank you,
our
Rizal.
sense of collectiveness.
Wow. Thank you. At ito, yung question ni Rogelio kanina pa, at pares daw sa the same with Rodiald Seraphic. Ang tanong is, asan na yun? Okay, ito. Yan. When is the right time to speak and when is the right time to listen? Sabi niya, yan, Rogelio Barameda.
I
Anong
feel
sagot
like
natin?
every time, anytime is the right time to listen. To listen. It's important to um just be able to absorb information from everybody. It's important to appreciate everybody's thoughts and opinions because you're not an island. You're not the only person in this world who matters.
Exactly.
Other people also matter. And when you listen to them, you appreciate their existence, you acknowledge that they also are valid and that they are also human beings worthy of attention and love. And when you listen to other people, you make them feel loved. So it is always the right time to listen, but it is not always the right time to speak, you know. It is, of course, the right time to speak when you believe that your opinion is something that needs to be it's something that needs to be voiced out into the world, you know. We all
Exactly.
have our own unique ideas, and we always have to contribute. And when you contribute, you have to speak. So if you're holding on to a very valuable thought, to a recommendation that may make everything better for your community, speak up. Speak up, because your contribution will always matter.
Wow. Thank you. At yeah, Rizaleños are proud of you as well. Cherry Kabitak
Hi,
Bayabo. Yeah.
Tita. Very.
Pwede ka daw maging politician, sabi ni Jazz Bayabo.
Nako, that ano, to be fair, to be honest, when I took up political science, that's also one of the things that I was also planning to do. Not really planning, but it's something that I am open to do. You know,
Yes.
serving in service of our country is something I'm also passionate about. So why not?
Yes, of course. At itong huling tanong natin bago tayo magtapos. Kasi kay Rodyard Dayo, yes. What will you choose? Being kind or being beautiful?
You know, a fun fact before I answer this is actually one of the questions that were given to the finalists of at Binibining Burgos. So this was a question that went to the eventual winner of Binibining Burgos. So,
Okay.
So to answer that question, I choose to be kind. Because when you are kind, you also look very beautiful in the eyes of
Exactly.
people, right? Because
Exactly.
beauty is
Agree.
relative older. And if you're always showing kindness to everybody around you, they will always look upon you as a thing of beauty.
Wow. Yun. Thank you. Honestly, you really stand by your name, Sofia. Guys, I think Sofia means knowledge, di ba?
Yes, wisdom.
Yan bang rason bakit yan pinangalan sa'yo ng nanay mo na isang guro?
Yes, actually. So the interesting story behind my name, Sofia.
Yes.
My whole name is Sofia Grace Lopez Galve. So my name is Sofia Grace. So my mom, I think, I don't remember it clearly, but I think she said before she gave birth to me on March 9, 1997, on March 8, she was doing a devotion in her Bible. And devotion, but sometimes you just open the Bible just to a random page. She opened it to a particular page in Psalms, and the title of the verse was Wisdom's Call. And so she didn't see my name first. She saw the meaning first, which is wisdom. And then from there, she decided, oh, Sophia is a word for wisdom. So I'm gonna name her Sophia. And then Grace means gift of God. So my name literally means wisdom is a gift from God. So I always, after I learned that from my mom, that was the story behind my name, I've always made it I've always made sure to stand by my name, to be wise,
Sophia.
or at least wise. Okay, you're gonna see how much of a nerd I am, how much of a geek I am. But Socrates once said, "Wise is she who knows she does not know." And I claim not to know everything. I'm not know it all. I don't really know everything. I'm not that smart of a person, but in my acknowledgement of everything, that also means that I have this wisdom inside me, and I will be able to use this wisdom to inspire people. So yes, that's my name.
Exactly, agree. Cherry, kabayo. Yan, bayabo, yes. Anong cross patrivia tayo dyan, guys? Additional, kumbaga additional words lang ito. Actually, yung Sofia na-mention natin about knowledge or wisdom, nalala ko tuloy yung, the technical term for a lover of knowledge. It's called sophophilis or sophophile.
Yes.
Sophophobia is the fear of knowledge, di ba? Yan.
Yes.
Okay, so yan yung patrivia natin. Actually, yung literal meaning ng philosophy, guys, is the love for knowledge. Philos love,
Yes,
Sofia means
that's true.
yan. Okay. So guys, grabe itong well-spoken. Actually, ang dami yung pang mangyayaring magandang bagay sa'yo outside of beauty pageant.
Thank you.
Looking forward for your journey mo. Maraming salamat, Queen Sofia, dito. And I would like to ask, what can you promise to the Rizal province, sa mga supporters mo, sa journey mo, sa finals ng Binibining Pilipinas 2023?
I promise you a performance that is worthy of a crown. That's all.
Wow, that's
Everything.
all. Thank
Not
you.
my
Yes.
best, not just my personal best, but it's gonna be the best that is actually worthy of a crown.
Exactly. And of course, sino mga gusto mong pasalamatan? Sa mga nandyan, bago tayo magtapos, sino mga tao, mga grupo na gustong pasalamatan?
Of course, my
Take your
biggest thanks to my K-Familia, Tito Rogel, and of course to my personal mentor and handler, Tito Jess. Thank you so much for everything, Tito Gio. And of course, aside from my K-Familia team, my glam team, of course, so si Tito Gio, as I mentioned, and then also Ate Rain Arevalo, Ate Lea Arevalo, Bads, and Dren, thank you so much for everything. To my styling team, Ate Kitka, thank you. And then thank you so much as well to all of my supporters, to my family. First and foremost, thank you to my mother, my father, my sister. Thank you for always being there for me, my partner in life, Josh, and to his family as well. To my companies, Tagpuan Company Co-Park, where Josh is also a part of it, and Therese is also a part of it, and also to Mirror Studios, to my CCO, Therese, to my COO, Margaret, to my CVO, Jail. Thank you so much for all of your support. Diba? Inisa-isa ka na talaga. And then,
yes.
So, of course, to my to Sofia's Bini Babies, ang cute ng name namin, Bini Babies.
Yes.
Right? And to my active supporters, thank you so much. Ate Tintin, to all of my admins,
Yes.
Jalika, thank you. Ru,
Admin
Rogelio,
team.
Ate. Yes, thank you so much. Hindi ko na kayo maisa-isa.
Yes.
To everyone, Anal, George, Alcher, thank you so much. John, Brian Abitria, and everyone else. Sorry, hindi ko na baka madami na akong hindi na mention, makakalimutan. But again, thank you so much for all of your support. And yes, to all my designers as well, of course, Tito Alvin Nogot, to Tito Ronaldo.
Yes, wow, Nogot, yes.
Yes, thank you so much, all of you, to Sir Ras Cuevas, to Paolo Blanco, Joey Magallon, Joy Villarente, Kuya Hedge, Limon Bati. Thank you so much for all of your support, guys. I appreciate it. And yeah, so, I forgive me if I forgot to.
Yes, may mga hindi mo mention, di ba?
Yes, forgive me for that. But thank you to all of my high school teachers, my professors in college, to all my elementary teachers as well. They are all supporting me. Grabe, pati yung mga co-teachers ni Mama. So thank you so much, everyone.
Yes.
Again, and of course, a big thanks to the LGU of Rizal Province, of Montalban, of Tanay, of Antipolo, all of the other municipalities that I hope to be visiting one of these days. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to all of you. To our municipal tourism officers, Miss Joycey, Miss Jomelyn, thank you so much for all of your assistance as well. And to Sir Reddy Bonifacio, thank you as well. So thank you, Rizal Province, for your undying support to me. And again, I promise you a performance worthy of a crown. Thank you all.
Ayun. O nga pala shout out Brit Joshua Kahoy. O nga pala, itong litrato na to, kailan to at kumustang araw na to?
Yes, I've I think that was April. When was that? April 2? I think that was April 2. That was the 25th anniversary of the cityhood of Antipolo. So really the anniversary when they were proclaimed as a city. And again, my thanks to the Antipolo LGU for inviting me in that festivity. I was able to see a lot of Antipoleños and other Rizaleños in person. So thank you for the opportunity.
Wow. Thank you sa mga suporta na from Rizal.
Province. And
adding
to that, I would also like to greet Montalban on their Araw ng Montalban very soon. So I think I will be in Montalban on April 29. So see you guys. And I love you all.
Yes. I would like to ask, dyan ba yung tinatawag nilang Wawa Dam?
Yes, oo.
Dyan sa inyo?
Montalban. Yes. Malapit sa barangay namin. So Wawa Dam has been a popular place amongst tourists. And especially those who are also
ako dun.
Nature. Oo. Yes. Madalas din ako doon nung bata ako actually.
Kaya yung time na pumunta kami doon, walang maliguan kasi parang yung tubig ang tuhod lang. Wala kami doon sa area na malalim.
Oo. Actually minsan
walang
talaga. Oo, minsan talaga tawag dito. Minsan mababaw, minsan malalim.
Yes.
May
Nag-araw kasi yun eh. Yes.
So, yun. I also shout out to Carly the ranger, the forest ranger of Tagpuan.
Yes. At salamat din pala sa group mo. Ni-add ako nun eh. Sa admin team, maraming salamat. Okay. Guys, maraming salamat sa oras nyo. Guys, napahaba talaga. Umabot kami ng more than 30, di ba usually 1 hour lang. Pero grabe ka kwentuhan si Queen Sofia. Queen Sofia, maraming salamat sa pagkakataon na to.
Thank you,
sa Binibining Pilipinas, no? At hindi lang after the pageant. Looking forward na yun ngayon sa mga documentaries makita ka namin with Cara David at kahit sa anong channel, anong, di ba? Network. Okay. Guys,
so again, thank you.
Diyan sa Tagpuan
Visit ka admin.
Looking forward. Yes, pag nagbakasyon ako diyan sa
Thank you, Admin Sam, and thank you Philippine Pageants for having me over and for letting me share experiences. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Yes. And of course, ito, panghuling tanong na lang. Why should you win as one of the winners of Binibining Pilipinas 2023 pageant?
Sorry, what's that? I feel like I didn't catch
Why should you be one of the winners of Binibining Pilipinas 2023 pageant? Yan.
Well, I should be crowned as one of your Binibining Pilipinas 2023 queens because I have everything that you will look for in a Philippine representative, and that is compassion, beauty inside and out, and the leadership that it takes to be a queen. You know, a queen is not just a symbol of beauty. A queen is a symbol of leadership, and it's just not leadership. You know, we always have to inculcate in a lot of young women here in the Philippines that you have the capacity to lead other people, and that is something that we should look for in a beauty queen. And I am that, and I am beyond that. That is why I will be your Binibining Pilipinas 2023 queen.
Wow, thank you. Thank you, Queen Sofia. Ay, Josh, thank you. Admin Sam, kami bahala sa'yo sa Tagpuan. Yes, mag-ATV tayo dun. Okay. Wow.
May personal invitation na kayo.
Wow, thank you so much. Maraming salamat. Guys, wow. Grabe, maraming salamat sa pagkakataon ito, guys. Na-enjoy ko yun. Ang ganda ng usapan na nakita namin kung gaano kakagaling talagang yung kalibre mo bilang isang beauty queen. Bilang ikaw, na si Sofia Lopez Galve, di ba? Grabe, ang dami pang bagay na soon, baka, attorney, di ba? Lawyer, di ba? Ayun. So, thank you. Imbitahin mo sila at paano kanila suportahan sa pageant sa Binibining Pilipinas 2023 stent mo.
Yes, of course, you will be able to show your support when you watch live on our coronation night on May 28th at the Araneta Coliseum. And then, of course, you will also be able to show your support to me via my social media account. So please follow me on IG. It's at Sofia Galve _ and it's Sofia Lopez Galve on Facebook. So please do react to my posts, share my posts, comment your support, and of course you can also always message me personally to show your support. So yeah, thank you so much to everyone who are supporting me via social media or personally. Thank you all.
Thank you. At maraming salamat again kay Sir Ronaldo Santos Jr. sa Binibining Pilipinas. Of course, guys, Binibining Pilipinas is actually one of the biggest national pageants in the world. Ito talagang pinakaabangan along with Miss Venezuela. Talagang grabe, powerhouse. Grabe ang Pilipinas. Grabe ang mga beauty queens natin. Hindi tayo nawawala ng mga magaganda, mga palaban kagaya ni Sofia. Ang mga beauty queens ngayon, guys, hindi lang nakaraang mga dekada na ganda lang. Ito ganda, talino, katawan, lahat na. Whole package nandun na sa kanila. Di ba?
Whole package talaga.
Talagang woman empowerment. Talagang pinapakita nila, di ba? Oo. Thank you, Queen Sofia Lopez Galve.
Thank you so much, Sam. And of course, I want to salute Philippine Pageants for giving us the platform to share all of who we are. Thank you so much because you have this platform and you're sharing it with us freely. So thank you.
Exactly.
I commend everything that you do, and I actually commend you for lifting the discourse of pageants here in the Philippines. So thank you for giving us this platform, and of course thank you to BPCI for allowing these interviews to happen. So thank you.
Wow, thank you. Napaka-uplifting. Actually, may interview ko kayo, bigyan ng chance yung trust ng Binibining Pilipinas, tapos ikaw, guys, yun pa lang nagpapasalamat na kami. Nandito tayo sa platform na actually di sa form of bayanihan para sa ating lahat, di ba? To reach out sa mga tao. Okay. So thank you again, Queen Sofia. Maraming salamat. Josh, sa inyo dyan, Teresa, salamat dyan. Yung mga lahat ng nag-interact dyan, thank you. Sa designer mo, good luck ha. Abangan namin ang gown ni Alvin Nogot. Of course, abangan namin yan.
Also, shout out to Kuya Patrick Isorena, one of my designers.
Yes, abangan namin yan. Grabe yung team. Behind, of course, Pangmasang Flores, Tito Roger Flores. Maraming salamat. Yan. And mabuhay po tayong lahat, guys. This is Admin Sam dito sa Saudi, guys. 3:39 PM dito sa Saudi, guys. Yan. I'm your Admin Sam. Actually, ang work ko is gabi. Kasi nga Ramadan dito, gabi yung namin. And of course, Ramadan Karim sa lahat ng mga Muslims na nanonood ngayon. Thank you, guys. Okay. And mabuhay po tayong lahat. Good luck. Salute to you, Queen Sofia.
Thank you.
Good luck sa bukas sa biyahe niyo, sa shooting niyo, di ba?
Thank you.
Good luck. Mabuhay ka. This is your Admin Sam. Papaalam na